Welcome to Power in Words. If you have found your way here today, consider this moment not a coincidence, but a necessary intersection of fate and intention. This channel is more than just a collection of sentences. It is a sanctuary for the weary spirit, a lighthouse for those navigating the foggy seas of uncertainty, and a source of profound energy for anyone seeking to rewrite the narrative of their life. Here, we believe that words are vessels of healing. And today we invite you to breathe in a concept that has the power to silence your anxiety and reignite your hope. We are going to explore a wisdom that has survived the erosion of centuries, a whisper from the ancient sage Confucius that resonates with thunderous truth in our modern lives. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. In the frantic cacophony of the 21st century, we are collectively suffering from a silent sickness, the obsession with speed. We live in an era that worships the instantaneous. We are bombarded by the curated highlight reels of others, scrolling through screens that scream of overnight successes, 30 under 30 lists, and fortunes made before the sun has even set on one's youth. This relentless exposure creates a subtle, venomous narrative in our subconscious that if we are not moving at breakneck speed, we are failing. We look at our own progress, which often feels agonizingly incremental, and we feel a heavy blanket of shame descend upon our shoulders. We confuse silence with stagnation. We confuse a pause with an end. But let us strip away these modern illusions and sit with the raw, unfiltered truth of the human experience. The most majestic marvels in this universe, those that endure and truly matter, are never built in a frenzy. They are born of patience, forged in the fires of persistence, and defined not by how fast they arrived, but by the fact that they refused to cease becoming. When Confucius spoke those words, he was not offering a mere platitude. He was offering a psychological lifeline. He was addressing the very human tendency to despair when the gap between where we are and where we want to be seems insurmountable. Think for a moment of the Grand Canyon. It is a masterpiece of nature that leaves us breathless with its scale and beauty. Yet, it was not carved by a sudden, violent explosion of power. It was carved by a river that, day after day, year after year, millennium after millennium, simply refused to stop flowing. The water did not rush, it persevered. It understood its purpose was not to race the wind, but to embrace the rock, wearing it down with the gentle, relentless pressure of consistency. If the river had looked at the stone and despaired at its hardness, if it had compared its fluid softness to the rigid strength of the canyon walls and decided it was too weak to leave a mark, we would not have one of the world's greatest wonders. You are that river. Your dreams, your goals, your healing, your growth, they are the canyon. It matters not if your flow is gentle today. It matters not if you are merely a trickle in a drought. As long as you continue to flow, as long as you do not dry up and surrender to the earth, you are reshaping the landscape of your destiny. Psychologically, the fear of moving slowly is rooted in our ego's fear of irrelevance. We are terrified that if we are not seen winning immediately, we are not worthy of love or respect. But true resilience, the kind that builds empires and heals trauma, is quiet. It is the student who studies one vocabulary word a day when their peers are seemingly fluent. It is the artist who paints for 10 years in obscurity before selling a single canvas. It is the person recovering from a broken heart who manages only to get out of bed and brush their teeth today despite the crushing weight of grief. To the outside world, these actions look slow. They look negligible. But in the internal architecture of the soul, these are monumental victories. Confucius invites us to redefine success not as a sprint across a finish line, but as the dignity of the struggle itself. When you accept that speed is irrelevant, you liberate yourself from the shackles of comparison. You enter a state of flow where the only metric that matters is your own continuity. Let us visualize the parable of the bamboo farmer in the far reaches of Asia. This is a story often told, but rarely felt with the depth it deserves. When the farmer plants the seed of the Chinese bamboo tree, he waters it and fertilizes it with great care. For the first year, nothing happens. There is no green shoot, no sign of life. The ground remains barren. A skeptic watching would say the farmer is wasting his time, that he is a fool pouring water onto dead earth. The second year comes and goes. Still nothing. The third year, the fourth year, silence. The soil remains undisturbed, The farmer continues his labor, driven by a faith that sees what the eye cannot. He does not stop. He does not let the apparent lack of results convince him to abandon his post. Then, in the 5th year, a miracle occurs. The bamboo breaks through the surface, but it does not just grow, it explodes. In a span of just 6 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now ask yourself this. Did the bamboo grow 90 feet in 6 weeks, or did it grow 90 feet in 5 years? The answer, of course, is 5 years. Had the farmer stopped watering it in the 4th year, had he succumbed to the frustration of slowness, the bamboo would have died in the ground. For 4 years, the tree was growing underground, developing an immense, complex root system capable of supporting the towering height it was destined to reach. This is the metaphor for your life. You may be in your 4th year. You may be putting in the effort, writing the pages, saving the money, doing the therapy, exercising the body, and yet, looking in the mirror, you see no change. You feel like the barren earth. You feel slow, but you must understand that you are growing roots. You are building the foundation of character, of discipline, and of wisdom that will sustain you when your moment of breakthrough finally arrives. If you stop now, you kill the roots. If you keep going, however slowly, the shoot will rise. There is a profound nobility in slow progress because it requires a deeper well of courage than fast success. Fast success is fueled by adrenaline. Slow success is fueled by character. When you are moving slowly, you are forced to confront yourself. You are forced to sit with your doubts, to wrestle with your demons, and to choose faith over fear every single morning. This process alchemizes the soul. It turns you into a person of substance. Think of the difference between a diamond and a piece of glass. Glass can be made quickly, but it shatters easily. A diamond is created over eons under crushing pressure and intense heat in the dark, slow womb of the earth. Because it took its time, because it endured the process, it becomes unbreakable. You are not here to be glass. You are here to be a diamond. Do not resent the pressure. Do not resent the time. It is making you brilliant. Let's bring this down to the pavement of our daily lives. Consider the person striving to lose weight who steps on the scale after a week of discipline and sees the number has not moved. The temptation to quit is a roaring fire in the mind. It's not working, the inner critic screams. You are broken. Give up. This is the critical juncture where destiny forks. One path leads to the comfort of old habits and the certainty of regret. The other path is the Confucius path. It is the path where you say, I will walk today, not because the scale moved, but because I am a person who walks. It is the detachment from the immediate result and the commitment to the identity. It does not matter how slowly I go, you whisper to yourself as you lace up your shoes. The weight loss is a byproduct. The real victory is that you did not stop. Or consider the writer staring at a blank page, the cursor blinking like a mocking heartbeat. The words are not flowing. The inspiration feels dried up. The fast world says, if you aren't publishing every day, you are irrelevant. The writer feels the crushing weight of writer's block. But the writer who understands the power of continuity writes one terrible sentence, and then another. They do not stop. They write through the mud, through the fog, through the mediocrity. They understand that the muse does not visit the idle, she visits the working. By refusing to stop, even when the output is slow and painful, the writer keeps the channel open. Eventually, the dam breaks and the masterpiece flows. But it only flows because the channel was not closed by the debris of quitting. We must also address the concept of stopping. What does it truly mean to stop? It does not mean taking a rest. Rest is a vital part of the rhythm of life. Even the heart rests between beats. Even the earth sleeps in winter. Confucius did not say, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not rest. He said, as long as you do not stop. Stopping is a spiritual resignation. Stopping is the moment you decide that your potential is a lie. Stopping is when you agree with your obstacles. You can pause to catch your breath. You can pause to weep. You can pause to sharpen your axe, but you must never unbuckle your armor and leave the battlefield. The difference between a pause and a stop is the intention of the heart. If your heart is still turned toward the mountain, you are still moving, even if your feet are still. The tragedy of the human condition is that we often give up moments before the miracle happens. There's a psychological phenomenon where the night seems darkest just before the dawn, where the resistance feels strongest just before the breakthrough. This is the test. The universe needs to know if you really want what you say you want. Does your desire for the goal outweigh your disdain for the struggle? If you can answer yes, if you can take one more micro step, you pass the test. The speed is irrelevant because the direction is correct. A turtle heading toward the ocean will eventually find the water. A hare running in circles will only find exhaustion. Direction and persistence are the coordinates of success. Speed is merely a variable of time. Let us look at the great figures of history. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, 27 years of stripped dignity, of stone walls, of silence. To the world, his life had stopped. His movement was not just slow, it was frozen. But inside the cell, Mandela did not stop. He did not stop learning. He did not stop forgiving. He did not stop preparing his heart to lead a nation. When he emerged, he did not emerge as a bitter, broken man. He emerged as a statesman of unparalleled grace. His slow years were his making. Or think of Colonel Sanders, who was a retiree with a meager check before he built his empire. Think of J.K. Rowling, a single mother on welfare, typing in cafes while her baby slept, rejected by publisher after publisher. If she had believed that her slow progress was a sign of failure, the world would be devoid of magic. They did not stop. That is the only sentence on their resume that matters. You, reading this now, you have a dream. It might be buried under layers of disappointment. It might be a relationship you want to heal, a business you want to start, a skill you want to master, or a peace you want to find. You may feel like you are crawling through broken glass. You may feel like everyone else is zooming past you in Ferraris while you are walking barefoot. Let them drive. Their journey is not yours. Do not look to the left or the right. Look at your feet. Take one step, just one. That step is a declaration of war against mediocrity. That step is a prayer. That step is enough. The beauty of going slowly is that you get to see the scenery. You get to learn the lessons. You get to appreciate the person you are becoming. When you rush, you blur the details. When you go slowly, you experience the texture of life. You learn gratitude. You learn humility. You learn that the prize is not the trophy at the end, but the strength of the legs that carried there. You begin to understand that power in words is not just a channel name, it is a reality. The words you speak to yourself about your pace define your reality. If you tell yourself, I am too slow, you induce paralysis. If you tell yourself, I am moving, and that is enough, you induce endurance. There will be days when the rain pours and the wind howls. There will be days when your progress slides backward. That is okay. The trajectory of success is never a straight line. It is a spiral. You may feel like you are circling the same mountain, but you are at a higher elevation than you were before. Trust the spiral. Trust the slow, agonizing, beautiful climb. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the quiet whisper of your own intuition. You are exactly where you need to be. You are not late. You have not missed the boat. The boat is built by your persistence, plank by plank, nail by nail. So embrace the snail's pace. Embrace the crawl. Embrace the days where all you can do is survive. Survival is movement. Survival is defiance. As long as there is breath in your lungs and a spark in your soul, you are in the race. The only person who can disqualify you is you. Do not sign the paper. Do not ring the bell. Stay in the ring. Let the blows come. Let the sweat sting your eyes. Let the fatigue rattle your bones. But stay standing. And if you fall, crawl. And if you cannot crawl, look toward the finish line with your eyes until your body finds the strength to follow your gaze. This is the anthem of the unyielding. This is the manifesto of the tortoise. We do not fear time. We do not fear distance. We only fear stopping. And because we do not stop, we are inevitable. The mountain may be high, but it is stationary. We are dynamic. We will wear it down. We will reach the peak. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day. And when we stand there looking down at the path we carved, we will realize that the slowness was not a curse. It was the crucible that burned away everything that was not gold. Remember this when the night is long. Remember this when the tears fall. Remember this when you feel small. You are a force of nature. Your persistence is your superpower. Keep going. Keep flowing. Keep believing. The universe falls in love with a stubborn heart. You are capable of more than you know. You have a reservoir of strength that you haven't even tapped into yet. It is waiting for you to get tired so it can take over. Let it. Let the deep, rhythmic power of persistence carry you home. You are doing just fine. In fact, you are doing purely magnificently well. Just do not stop. It does not matter how slowly you go. It truly, deeply, fundamentally does not matter. The only thing that matters, the only thing that will be written on the epitaph of your dreams is that you kept moving. Like a star that takes millions of years for its light to reach the earth, your brilliance is on its way. It is traveling through the dark void, steady and sure. Do not extinguish the source before the light arrives. Be patient with your own unfolding. Be kind to your own timeline. You are a masterpiece in progress, and masterpieces cannot be rushed. Take a deep breath now. Feel it fill your lungs. That breath is life. That breath is proof that you are still here, still fighting, still moving. Release the breath, and with it, release the shame of being slow. Release the pressure to perform. Return to the simple, sacred act of the next step. Then the next. Then the next. This is the secret. This is the way. This is the promise. Keep going. Always. Do not stop. If this message touched a chord in your soul, if you felt the weight lift even a little, please leave a like and subscribe to Power in Words. Join our community of resilient spirits and let us walk this journey together. One powerful word, one slow step at a time.